Hello there, and welcome to 3Spoonies. We're your hosts, Karen, Jo, and Claire. This is episode 52.5, and we're discussing comedy and disability. Let's get into some questions.
If you're a late-discovered neurodivergent adult, you may know the feeling. Always trying your best, yet still misunderstood at work or at home. It's not that you're asking for too much, you've simply never been given the language to explain what you need. At Outside the Box, Neurodiverse Coaching and Mentoring, we see a world in which neurodivergent people can truly thrive. Through education, coaching and mentoring, we help you uncover your strengths, understand your needs, and communicate them with confidence, so the people around you can finally support you in the right way. Book a free discovery call with Outside the Box founder AJ Mackay. Together, we'll uncover what you need to finally feel supported and understood.
Hello, I'm Karen from Pony Pony Pony.
Jo from Black Cat Business Solutions.
And I'm Claire from Black Bell Stationery.
And together, we're 3Spoonies navigating our way through life and business with not enough spoons. We are joined once again by lovely Suzi Payton. Hello! In case people have forgotten since last week or they weren't here, could you tell us a little bit about you, please?
I'm a coach, comedian, speaker, and author. I combine coaching and comedy to support neurodivergent adults with their confidence, with their unmasking, with their being unapologetically themselves and overcoming self-doubt. And I also speak on stages around neurodivergent, specifically my lived experience with autism, ADHD, Tourette, and OCD. And I do that in an entertaining, inspirational, and motivational way. And I combine that with comedy as well. So, yeah, being ADHD, I do all the things all at once.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm just going to pass over to Claire for some questions. Whoosh.
Of that, just all the things all at once because a lot of us can't. We want to, but we can't do them. I know I try. I get distracted by shiny things. Okay, so questions. Our first one is from Ashton, and it is, I can have quite a dark sense of humour about my condition. I feel him there because I'm the same. I wouldn't make jokes about anyone else, but I've also often been told it's offensive. Should I be more empathetic, or do they need to get over themselves?
What a great question, isn't it? I think we can make jokes about ourselves. You know, when I'm talking about my ADHD, for example, I'm talking about me and my experience. And I'm not for a moment talking about anyone else's experience, even though they could relate. So if somebody said to me, you know, when I'm talking about being impulsive, or you shouldn't really say that, I would probably say something like, well, actually, that's my experience, so I can say it. So it's without specifics from the person that asked the question. It's a bit of a tricky question to answer because I don't know what that person is saying, do I? So I have to be careful here. If you're talking about yourself, then it's okay. But if equally, if you've upset or offended someone, then there might be room for curiosity and growth there. What, you know, because of course we don't want to upset people, do we? So tricky.
No, we don't. It's like you said, it's a hard one because you're never going to please everyone. There's always going to be someone that gets offended by something. It is just the way the world works. I mean, I can kind of relate with my dark sense of humour, and Jo probably can with hers. I don't find it offensive. I get people say to me like, they'll be like, "Oh no, I can't say that." I'm like, "Why not?" Because I'm not going to be offended by it unless you're personally attacking me. Then I may take an issue with it, but you'd have to personally reference it to me. You know, I can separate myself from a joke because it's comedy, but I think some people just struggle with that a little bit.
Yeah, and it just depends, doesn't it? It's so personal and individual, like where people are in their stage in their life, where they are in terms of trauma, where they are in terms of acceptance of their disability. So I think we have to be mindful and aware, but also not, you know, if somebody said to me, "Oh, stop including your comedy within your talks," I would tell them where to go. That's my choice.
That answer.
But it's without specifics what this person is talking about. It is tricky to comment on, really.
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't know how someone's taking it as offensive.
And what they're
Yeah.
saying. We don't
It
know
could be
what they're...
it could be
That's
something that's
true.
been said that's really bad. So it is a hard one.
Yeah.
But I think you answered that
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah, it is a tricky situation. Or some people, I've had the opposite thing that I had young people who'd say, "Oh, well, I'm dyslexic, so I can use the following slurs," and it's like I've got a disabled card. I can say what I like.
Yeah.
Uh,
No. I worked with somebody before. Yeah, similar sort of thing. Well, I'm on ADHD, so I can do that. And I would say, well, it's a reason, but it's not an excuse to treat people poorly. So it's very specific, isn't it? Context specific.
Reason why something is different from being an asshole.
Exactly. And of course, with the person that sent the question, we have no idea what they're like. So message me personally, privately, if you want more specific information. If it's an issue, then please contact me.
Thank you very much. So our next question is from Rowan, and he says, "Does comedy have to be fully relatable to be funny, or is it okay as long as you explain the situation?"
You can, with your comedy, you can do it how you like. You'll get the feedback if people are laughing on. Does it have to be fully relatable? I think as humans, we are relatable if you can relate to other humans. Again, it's a really tricky one to answer. I think what's important is that you relate to the audience and they can relate to you. And they don't have to have had your experience. But when I'm coaching people, I also coach people how to be confident at stand-up as well. And one of the best things I ever learned from my stand-up teacher, Sally Holloway, was the first thing to do is connect with the audience. And that doesn't mean like go and shake their hands. That would take ages. Acknowledge them. Say hello. Now, so many stand-ups don't do this. Then you've lost me if you don't do that. Because if your content is great and you're funny, I will forgive you for it. But if it's a bit not sure, then I would have completely switched off because you didn't even acknowledge that we, the audience, were there. So I think that's the most important thing is go in and just say, "Hi, I'm Suzi." You don't have to kind of do these weird public speaking exercises where you look at each person in the eye. Goodness me. Can come later if you want it to. You might not want to look people in the eye. It's not, but relatable. Some of it will be, some of it won't. Do your thing. Some people will get it, some people won't. But you can't please everyone. So do what you're passionate about. Get some jokes in there. If people are laughing, then it's working. Yeah.
Yep, I like that. That works well, for
Hmm.
sure. So our next question is from Anna, and she says, "I make gift cards with Neurospicy themes." I appreciate that. "I'm having trouble stocking them in actual shops. Should I just stick to online?"
Um. I don't know. I would. Why does anyone here have any clues as to why she's having trouble getting them into shops?
I mean, it depends what kind of shop she's trying to get them into. Could be the issue. If you're trying to kind of market it into an established business, like a well-known name, that can be a lot harder. But there's plenty of shops out there that will sell items that are like craft-based items.
Yeah.
That would be a way to look at it. Um,
Could be the right niche as well, because there doesn't seem to be much middle ground with cards. There's like the ones that are like, "Ha, you're old and you're going to die soon," or there's the ones, "Here's a poem about Posey," and there's not a lot in between. So it might be finding the right match there in
Yeah.
terms of the humour.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and like you say, I think smaller independent shops, like in Brighton, for example, where I live, some of them have some great cards, and I can see that type of card really doing well. So I think it's, yeah, where you're doing it. But yeah, and if that's a real dream of that person's, Anna, to
Yeah.
get into shops, then keep trying and tap into your network and get some ideas about how to get them in. I know somebody that is in some of the card shops, so they can always get in touch with me. I could put them in touch with them that you're
Oh, I'm
into.
not that well connected. I know like craft shops kind of stuff, but I think it is finding the right environment for your stuff to sell in as well.
Yeah.
Because you have some shops that are very generic and they kind of sell bits of everything, but you can also find some that will really niche down onto the kind of vibe that you're going for.
Yeah, they must be there. It's going to be a case of finding them, because I think that sort of card would be really well received.
And I think if you can visit the shops as well, because some of them have very different vibes, and we don't know the kind of humour, but make sure it fits with the vibe of the shop. Otherwise, you don't want to spend ages chasing something where honestly it's never going to happen. Maybe they're a bit too cutesy, or maybe it just doesn't fit with the graphical style or something. There's lots of things that may not quite fit, but yeah, I think if you can actually go in and see what it's like, see what else is there, and preferably speak to people as well if it's a smaller place. That may not work if it's Paper Chase or whatever. Your local manager probably won't have a lot of swing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going, and also sort of build it up online as well, because that's the thing. If you've got the proof, if you're like, I've sold 3 cards to my aunties,
And that's a big,
say that there is a market. Yeah,
yeah,
here's
they've
my
got quite a
sales
big
figures.
online presence, and like they've got a website or social media that's doing really well. They can reference that.
Yeah, and potentially in a specific area as well. It might be sort of you've got a big following locally. In that case, go for sort of local shops and sort of take advantage of that.
Yeah, keep going with it. Sounds great.
Perfect. That is all of our questions. I will pass back to Karen.
So thank you, Suzi, for joining us again, and thank you for all of your answers. It's always just good to get a different perspective on things, I think.
Yeah, thank you. It's been really lovely chatting to you all.
Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, just to say that I'm available. I have a few spaces for one-to-one coaching, which is my unique nation of coaching and comedy improv skills. It's not as scary as it sounds, but it's great for confidence. Whether you're a business owner and you want to get more comfortable with social media, being the face of your business, then this is the coaching for you. If RSD is a problem that's holding you back, then this is the coaching for you. Self-doubt, overcoming self-doubt, not increasing it, because that would be a bit weird.
Having
And
coaching just to make you feel worse.
yeah, so there's a comedy sketch. People, my new book. I co-wrote it with Kate Lane Toner. Lost and Now Found: A Guide to Understanding and Accepting Yourself, a Late Discovered Autistic Adult. That's available in all formats across major booksellers. Available for entertaining, dynamic, and humorous and educational talks in organisations around ADHD and how to support your neurodivergent and disabled colleagues.
Thank you for joining us for 3 Spoonies on comedy and disability. We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments and any questions you may have. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe for our weekly podcast and leave us a lovely review. You can also buy us a coffee if you like what we do. Links, as ever, will be in the show notes. We'll see you next week for our next topic, AIDS and adaptations. Have a great day and keep track of your spoons.